Yes, you can forget fad diets. Weight loss is just a few steps away. Stick with me to see how.
Hey guys, my name's Cassandra. I am a wife, a stay-at-home mom, and I'm a new blogger and a new YouTuber. I have started these new journeys with the desire to build up my platforms in a way that can help support my husband and family and get us to the ultimate goals and dreams that we have a little quicker. So thank you so much for hopping in and joining in. I'm excited to talk about topics that I am very passionate about with fitness and faith. And if you're not interested in one or the other, then this channel isn't quite for you. But if you are, this is. So stick around and we'll keep diving into topics that center around those things. So today I want to talk about starting your fitness journey, or if you have, tried starting in the past and it just wasn't working for you. Maybe you got overwhelmed with all the options of diets out there, or whatever could have been holding you back. This might be content that will help you get started and keep going. What you need to do is you need to start with the foundation. So start from the ground up. You need to first off establish why you want to get healthier, lose weight, eat certain things to support you to get to where you want to be. Establish that why, because as your journey progresses, the excitement of starting something new and the enthusiasm, the motivation will start to wane as time progresses, just because things become more difficult. You'll start having some cravings along the way that will kind of derail you from getting to your ultimate goals. You'll have family functions where there's just all kinds of things that will help derail you again. By establishing that why, it will help refocus you in those moments. If it's, you want to play with your grandkids someday, that's going to be a question that can come back to remind you, this is why I say no to certain things. This is why I am trying to be healthy, or this is why I only eat dessert 3 times a week instead of 7 times a week or whatever. It's establishing that why, because you will need to use it as a point of reference when things get difficult and things get hard. A thing that I've struggled with in the past when I failed is when I had, when I was 207 pounds and I just knew that I had 50 plus pounds to lose, and I just focused on that 50 pounds mark. That at the time was so overwhelming to me and very discouraging, because my body type is, I gain weight super easy and I do not lose it super easy. So losing weight, I knew was going to be a long journey for me, and knowing that I had this huge number at the end goal was just overwhelming. And that usually was my was the needle in my side, where I would just kind of give up or flounder around, and it usually wasn't helpful for me. So with that being said, set mini goals. So when I started really seeing progress and I stuck with it and I kept going, and I had some fails along the way, but ultimately I never got fully derailed from what I was doing. I set mini goals. So instead of 50 pounds, just focusing, that was my ultimate goal. But instead of just focusing on that, I started focusing on 5-pound increments and would celebrate at every 5 pounds I lost, because that's huge. 5 pounds is a lot. And that, over time, I got to start checking off each 5-pound box. And that was visually exciting for me to see that. And it was just encouraging to know that my journey was still going, that, I didn't just have the 50 pounds and that was it. I had 5 pounds working up to that. So that was one of my mini goals, and I encourage you, whatever works for you, establish a mini goal, and that will really help you get to your ultimate goals. And that was just with my weight loss. With exercising, you see people going to the gym 7 days a week, working out for a full hour every one of those sessions. You don't have to become overwhelmed with the thought that you have to do the same. Set mini goals. When you're starting out, maybe start at 15 minutes a day, going out for a walk, maybe doing some Zumba, do something that you really enjoy. Make sure it's activity, and maybe start with small spurts, maybe 10-minute increments throughout the day. As a mom, it's hard to get a full workout in if my baby is up. So 10-minute segments here and there does add up at the end of the day, but set mini goals, 15 minutes, then work up to 30 minutes, and then if you want to work on past that eventually. 3 to 5 days a week. It doesn't have to be 7 days a week. Keep it something that will benefit you with longevity, something that won't become, the area that you fail in because you don't meet your expectations or whatever. Set mini goals. And you don't have to go out doing CrossFit starting out either. Like I said, you can start out walking, work towards a jog, and then from there, weightlifting, start with smaller pounds, and then work your way up as you see that your body is adapting and getting stronger and getting fitter. Work your way up. You don't have to be running marathons out the gate. That doesn't happen. I wasn't like that. I used the app that was Couch to 5K. And that had me starting out where I would run for a minute and then, it was run for 30 seconds and then I would walk for a minute and then I'd run for another 30 seconds and walk. So over the course of time, I was able to start drawing out the time between the two and just kind of went away from the Couch to 5K and started implementing that in my own way, in the way that I was growing and getting fitter. So start out with something simple. Don't overthink it. Don't overburden yourself. Don't set these expectations that are out the roof and something that you can't really achieve at the moment. Work your way up. Keep it simple. With nutrition is 80% of the struggle and was something that took me a long time to nail down. Early on, I loved exercising. I was good at it. I loved it, and I didn't have any problems with the exercises. It was the nutrition and learning what nutrition works for you. There are all kinds of diets out there, but find something that works for you. Don't think that you're like, Sally Mae down the street. I've got a twin sister that our diets are different, and we are very much alike. We're very identical. But when it comes to nutrition and goals, those are different for us too. So find a plan that works for you and then go from there. When I first started out, I worked towards trying to take away some of the carbs. I tried to clean up my nutrition. I made it simple. I made it attainable. Now I'm on the carnivore diet. If I had started on the carnivore diet straight out the gate, it would not have worked for me. But over the course of time, my nutrition got cleaner, and I was able to get to this point now where I'm just, strictly animal based with 99% of my stuff. And I definitely couldn't have done that out the gate. And I don't expect yourself to be that way either. So have a lot of grace with yourself. Start out with something that's attainable, and then work towards your end goal where you want to be. Make sure that you're in a calorie deficit. A lot of weight gain happens because you consume more calories than you're burning. So think of food as energy, because that's what it is. If you are consuming more of that than you're taking out, like an exercise, just moving around, walking around the house, cleaning, different activities that require energy to do them, then you need to make sure that you're in that calorie deficit. Otherwise, your body will start storing that extra energy as fluff that you don't want. So just make sure that you're not consuming too many calories. And you can either, just use a calculator and just document, like, okay, I consume this many calories at this meal. And then, for lunch, you track you follow your calories, and then that's how much you had. And then, or you can use an app. I use an app that is very inexpensive but extremely helpful. So if you'd be interested in that, just comment below and I can share what that app is. It's great for the budget and it helps keep me on track. This is the longest time that I've actually tracked my calories. Usually I'll just continue to eat the same things and then stop tracking because I'm eating the same things and I don't want to keep putting it in my notes, and it makes it harder. But this app makes it easy. So find something that will help keep you on track. And then once you've done that, there are a couple of musts that you need to have. Make sure that you're sleeping 7 to 9 hours a day as an adult. That helps support, while you're sleeping, it helps support your hormones. It helps support rest in your body from exercising. It helps repair. If you're not sleeping enough, it will impact your insulin levels, cortisol levels. Things will just kind of get out of whack. So make sure that you're sleeping enough, and that will really help support your goals, because if you're not sleeping enough, then that could be part of, the weight loss struggle along the way, and it's just an easier thing to do to help support you towards your ultimate goal. So make sure you're sleeping 7 to 9 hours a day as an adult. Make sure that you're drinking enough water. There are so many people that just don't drink enough water, and this is something that I've really started doing. It helps, it helped clear up my my skin, and not just that, it helps keep your organs and muscles functioning properly. If you're not drinking enough water, then muscles tend to cramp up, and if you're doing a lot of weightlifting or running or whatever, you need hydration. So that's a huge one. I drink at least 64 ounces a day. I drink a lot more than that, actually, but that's my ultimate goal is 64. That's a minimum for me. But it's said that women need 9 cups of water and men need 13 cups of water. So make sure that you have a target and really shoot for it, because hydration will also aid in your weight loss and can be a hindrance if you're not getting enough. So sleep, hydration, 2 easy things to keep, that can help support you with your weight loss. And then managing your stress levels. This one's a hard one, because sometimes work is stressful, sometimes family situations can be stressful, whatever could be causing you stress. Just take some time and try to carve out some time in your day of quietness, meditation, praying, reading your Bible, things that will help support a calmness. Something that can help de-stress you. Listen to some classical music, some jazz, whatever that it is, reading, whatever it is that can help support you towards just relieving some of that stress. Because if you have a lot of stress and it's prolonged, you can have this cortisol gets heightened, and then that just causes your body to hold on to fat, because it's one of those hormones that if it's elevated for a prolonged amount of time, then it just holds on to fat, and it's not anyone's friend. So try to carve out some time each day to just support your mental state towards peace and de-stress, and that will really help also aid in your weight loss journey. I hope that these tips helped. Some of them are easier than others, but if you work at it and just keep it simple, don't stress yourself out. You might fail along the way. You most likely will. I have, and I will continue to do so, just because, we're humans. Just have a lot of grace with yourself. Just keep it simple and have a lot of grace. So I hope that this helps along with your journey. If you'd like to share anything about yourself, your journey, any problems, wins, struggles, things that you have experienced along the way, or as you're desiring to start up, feel free to comment that below and share this video with other people that that struggle with this journey. We all need a community, we all need a support system, and that's what I'm hoping to create here. So I hope that this helps, and I want all the blessings for your journey, and to see where life takes you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.